said, hush your mouth, keep your head down low. Drink your pain, pay your tax, do what you're told. But I was raised where the rainy streets teach you to stand on your own 2 feet. Yeah, from a small town pub to the city lights, I've seen deals in smoke-filled nights. Blue suits talking like they own this land, but they never had mud on their hands. They write the rules from a golden chair while we graft all day just to breathe their air. But there's a fire in this old isle, and I won't let them steal what's mine. I don't bend for the lies they sell. I won't dance to the Westminster Bell. I'll sing true for this tired old nation. No filter, no hesitation. Raise your voice, feel that liberation. This is the Unfiltered Nation. Yeah, this is the Unfiltered Nation. Yeah. We got farms, docks, mills still standing strong. Real folk here who've been right all along. They call us crazy when we say no more, but we carry this country shore to shore. So here's to the ones who won't back down, stealing their spine and are beaten downtown. If your heart still beats for this old home soil, then you're my people in this loyal coil. No more masks, no more stage duration, no more bought and paid for stations. If you're done with scripted conversation, step into the Unfiltered Nation. Take a seat, switch on, feel the elevation. Real talk, real grit, no fabrication. You crossed the line, there's no more waiting. Welcome to the Unfiltered Nation. Yeah.
You see, what's going to happen now is the left and all the mainstream medias, they are going to incorrectly call this hate speech. So they want to play that game with me. Okay, good. I'm going to play it because yes, I hate evil. I hate paedophiles. I hate cowards who trade girls for votes. I hate lies disguised as tolerance. I hate the wolves in the suits, and I hate the silence in power. And if you don't hate these two, then you're part of the problem. So this will be a righteous hate. It's what built empires, and it's what defends the innocent. And to those over there watching in Parliament in Westminster, let me remind you this. You knew, and you let it happen anyway. And now the people know too.
Welcome, people. Hope everyone is well tonight. Now, it's a bit of an impromptu one tonight, to be fair, but we do what we do. I've just noticed a thing about Anne Widdecombe. Well, not really about Anne Widdecombe, but about the investigation that's coming on. Evening Meadow 1716, and yes, UTK Blue. It's not come up on here, but how you doing? I hope you're well. Mark's Life and Adventures, my brother. I hope you are well. I don't know why I'm so low. I don't know why I'm so low on the seat. Right, that's probably a little bit better. Anyway, so I've just come back and I've seen a couple of mad things. Just checking Twitter. It's the worst thing to do, really, at this time of night. But I was just checking that and a couple of things come up and I was like, what? See, now let's go straight into it. Let's get straight into what I'm talking about. So, we've got an update on Anne Widdecombe's murder investigation. So I was like, okay, what is this? It sounds a little bit interesting. So It's from today, and I think it's about 9 o'clock or something. A mad time like that. So it just says here, it's a statement from the Senior National Coordinator for Counter-Terrorism Policing, Vicky Evans. As part of the ongoing investigation led by Counter-Terrorism Policing Southeast into the murder of Anne Widdecombe, officers have reopened an investigation into an incident reported last year to the police. In April 25, the Metropolitan Police received a report on an attempted burglary at an address in the Greater London area. Inquiries were carried out by the Metropolitan Police, supported by Counter-Terrorism Police in London. So at the time, in April 2025, they're telling me that inquiries were carried out on this thing. You got to remember as well, this is about a time when Keir Starmer had his house firebombed as well by apparently those Ukrainian people. I don't know really what happened at the end of that. I kind of lost interest in it. Lots of other things were going on. So the counter-terrorism police were investigating it, but there were no arrests made, and the investigation was subsequently closed pending any new lines of inquiry. So this has got to be quite serious. If they're like, okay, cool, there's been a attempted burglary at an address in London. This happens all the time. Whose address was it? Because we know that Anne Widdecombe, she didn't live up there. I don't think she had a second house either. So whose was it, and why did they just allow it to kind of get filed away as we can't be asked? Following the reopening, and you know what I've just noticed as well, everyone on YouTube, this wasn't supposed to be going onto YouTube. I was testing out Kick, so everyone on YouTube, if I don't get your comments, it's because I've not put it into the system, let's just to speak, but I can see them live, but they might not be able to come up on the screen. Following the reopening of the attempted burglary investigation, counter-terrorism police identified a line of inquiry which was not identified and pursued by them at the time, which may be relevant. As a result, to ensure the support to the initial investigation is thoroughly reviewed, counter-terrorism policing have made a mandatory conduct referral to the Independent Office for Police Conduct. Now, this thing here, right, again, it's policing the police, which I've never, ever really agreed with. This was happening through COVID and all those types of things. You know, we'd put something out and say the police were acting wrong. Did they care? Not really. We will engage fully. The victims and families in both investigations have been updated today. We urge the public and the media to help us secure justice for those affected and to be mindful when sharing speculation or information not provided by the police. And that's another thing that they've kind of got to now. They say don't share, don't do this, but they don't give you the full information. And I know they can't really give you every bit of information, but this is a life that we're in at the moment. We are in a thing when we've all got an opinion. Most people have got a channel somewhere where they can voice their opinion, and that's what they don't want you to do. So let's not do on any speculation or whatever. Let's do what they say. Now, not that one. Then it was on X, sorry. And it says here, and now Stan Whittam's put out here, and I know he does what he does, but he does have a lot of contacts from the mainstream media. Outspoken, exclusive, counter-terrorism police investigating the murder of Anne Widdecombe, have reopened investigation into the firebombing of Nigel Farage's home last year. Now, that's the most important bit of the whole investigation into Anne Widdecombe's thing, because both of these two people are, he's a leader of Reform UK. Anne Widdecombe, obviously, she was a spokesperson. But then this goes into the situation of the £5 million donation. So when Nigel had the £5 million donation to him, he has said many, many times, this is about his security. Now, I don't really, it is what it is, right? Everyone seems these days in politics from Angela Rayner becoming a multi-millionaire to Nigel Farage taking £5 million, but he says it's for his security. Now, this is one of the reasons why maybe he needed that money, and also a reason why at the time when they were investigating this, all of a sudden counter-terrorism police come out. So what did they find? What was there? And I'm not really interested now in people saying they can't give you the full information because we've got to secure a fair trial. If there's enough information for a trial, right? This is just saying, if there's enough information for a trial, then obviously they can give out some information. They can say, do you know what? I think, not even that, we found this, this, and this. We found, addresses to Nigel Farage. We found addresses to Lee Anderson or whoever, and we think it's connected. What they're doing at the moment is they're just going to try and hide the whole situation because they know that the far left are a terror organization in and themselves. It doesn't matter who you are. Stand up to racism, hope not hate, Palestinian action. It doesn't matter what it is on that left side of politics. They all seem to have this real, not a hatred as in a hatred, but I would say a moral crusade. They really do believe that by any means necessary, they have to purify politics into this left-wing ideology. It raises the terrifying possibility that Anne's alleged killer might have been targeting the Reform leader first. Again, if this had happened, it should have been out on the mainstream media. It should have been out everywhere to say, this is modern MP, being an MP. We all want to speak to our MP. We all want to see our MP, but we understand now that sometimes it can't happen. But we've got to have the proof behind that as well. We've got to have the legitimate threats. We need to start calling out, not we as in, because we do it all the time, but I mean the country needs to start calling out these factions who are about and are doing these types of stuff. It says here, a lot of MPs use their clubs and hotels and guest houses close to Parliament and Whitehall, which is covered by their expenses. Some cater for particular needs, it is alleged. They do that. And they, I don't think Anne did that though. I don't think she might have done, I don't know. But Dan Wootton seems to think that it was from Nigel Farage. And he did do a video as well, I think I saw. This is his one. Let's just go through the video.
Intending to be working either, but I've just broken some big news and I wanted to explain it to you because it's potentially very, very significant. So police investigating the alleged murder of my friend Anne Widdecombe have tonight announced that they have also reopened an investigation into a burglary that was previously reported to the police last year. Now, I have learned and been able to confirm that investigation is into the firebombing of Nigel Farage's house, where the police at the time said they had no leads. It raises...
And also, look, he's got a Charlie Puth t-shirt on. That's so damn when he's chilling. He chills with a Charlie Puth t-shirt. But that's what it is, essentially. It's a firebombing. So I'm very, very interested to see how this is connected to Anne Widdecombe if it wasn't a firebombing or an attempted firebombing into another London house. We have to make sure that Bray Boy is part of the resistance. He's been part of the resistance for a long, long time. Get in there, Ross boy. Ross over on Kick. He brings the kicks. He brings the kicks in. Here's another one. We're going kick crazy tonight. He doesn't do the TTP too much. Thank you, Ross. Big shout to Ross Romes over on Kick. And Bretty boy, he's just there. He's just waiting for the bottle to open for some boozing on the foot. It's been a big, big week. He's a hard worker over in Australia. Down under, the Bogan Brett was, yeah, it is. It sounded weird then. The Bogan Brett had a hard week, and now he's waiting for the offie to get some booze so he can start drinking the weekend away. And that's Australia for you, isn't it? That's the Aussies, man. Work hard all week. The weekends for play. Thank you, Brett, for the support. And he says the Bogan Queen Pauline Hanson is unstoppable. And I think, do you know what, in the Anglosphere or whatever you want to call it, I think that Pauline Hanson is one of the ones who are going to be, she's going to be written out in the history books. She really, really is. So yeah, thank you everyone for the support. Keep it in. And everyone else, just bring the support by doing a like. That's it. Just do your little likes on there, and we can get this one put out onto the algorithm, because we are not friendly at the moment. I'm even less friendly at the algorithm, but you know, it is what it is. They are building tension between Russia and the UK, and they know that people like me are not going to stand for it. Yeah, UTK Blue says Starmer left with an extra 6 million quid in his bank account. It's absolutely crazy. But the 5 million that Nigel has, he said, is for his expensive, and I reckon we've got to at least give him that. Considering people probably do want to kill him. Considering, you know, what's happened to Anne Widdecombe. Considering what happened to Keir Starmer, to Sir David Amess, to Joe Cox. All of these people have been either murdered or attempted serious harm on them because they're in a position of political power, let's just say. But we need to bring our people in there. We can't use this to scare people away and saying, you know, we shouldn't be involved in politics. We have to be, because we know and I know that doesn't make sense, but we don't care. They don't like David Bailey. They don't like, oh, look at that. I bet you have that all the time. They don't like free speech, and that's for sure, Dan. I hope you are. I hope you're well as well, my friend. They don't like free speech. These left-wing people. And this was the thing, right? I always used to say, when I was one of the few blacks that came out against Black Lives Matter and against, you know, against all kinds of, you know, anti-white hatred that was going on. It's still going on. The agenda is still there, the DEI and all that stuff. So I used to say the most vile people I've come across has been the left. And I think it's built into them thinking they are on a moral crusade. Once you're on, it's like Islam. Once you've got that in you and you're on that crusade and you're doing it for a higher reason, it's not just because that's what you support. You're doing it for a higher reason. You then legitimize awful stuff. You say, well, that's all right because I'm here on the higher quest. I'm here for the higher reason. And that's what I think that they are. 15 months Bogan Brett has been a member for. 15 months. 15 months. Thank you. Ross Romes. Get in there. I wish we had an off license down there. What are they? What's a bottle then? Tell me. Did I get it wrong? Oh, is it all government sanctioned, is it? Used to be the same here at the weekends, but they shut all our pubs. I was talking to someone the other day, and I used to say, you know, when I was 16 or 17, I used to work for a company, and they used to pay me 150 quid a week cash. You come in with your envelope. It was like what it was for like mother care, right? There's all these containers coming in of all these like travel cots and all these types of stuff, and would move it from one container to another. No shit, right? I don't even know why they would do that. One container to another on a Thursday and a Friday, get it out, get the job done. We get paid on a Friday, no weekend work, and we're back to work on Monday. And that weekend, you live for the weekend. Now you can't live for the weekend. you barely, if you're not working the weekend and you're recovering from a hard day, a hard week's work, or you got the kids, or it's absolutely horrible where we are at the moment. The first world country where people in second world countries probably live better as in a work, family, lifestyle. Too expensive to drink in the pubs these days, especially down in Australia with Labour's beer tax. Albanese's a wanker. You got to get rid of him. Hanson all the way. As civil servants is from life's adventures. As civil servants were supposed to be politically neutral, it's abundantly clear that the mandarins of Whitehall are almost certainly now, and have been over the last 80 years, on the left. I serve. Exactly, and this is the thing: the chief political, the highest civil servant has worked under Labour, under Tories, would work under Reform, and all of these things, right? And the whole point of having this big civil service is like nearly, I don't know, probably 500,000 people working for them. It's big old service. The whole point of them is continuity. But the same people working on the Brexit deal, which they didn't want, are going to be the same people on the mass deportation deal. This is why I'm always a massive fan of saying, you need to reduce it. You need to do what, and I know it's Javier Milei, but you have to do what he did and walk in there and just cull half of them. That's it. Do what Elon Musk did with Twitter. Go in there, flip a coin, do a raffle, whatever it is. It's not going to be based on anything but luck. And then you're going to have an interview. If you do stay here, you're going to have an interview to make sure that you are impartial. Or if you do have a political leaning, you are able to do the job at hand. That's what I think. I don't drink socially. I don't drink, but socially they wrecked us. Exactly. Listen, I haven't drunk probably since Christmas. I might have a couple of bits here and there, but it's not worth it anymore. To be fair, it's not worth it. And there's a lot of people that don't do it as well. There's a lot of people that don't even go to the pubs. You go to people's houses and you do all that. So it is what it is. That's how they've done it. They've destroyed us, to be fair. What's going on here? Right, so we've got that, right? Then the next thing that I wanted to show is something that I did earlier on in the day. I did a post, but I want to show you the full context. So let me just get it up. So this is the thing. Are we there? We are there. Let's go full screen. So this is Count Binface. This is his political thing, right? So we got this bus fares capped at $1.99. And for the people out there as well, I don't understand. Binface is this person, right? He is a left-wing activist. He is fully paid by BBC. He is what would you say? He's a third party to Labour, like not the Hope That Hates, like the Stand Up to Racism. Labour used to, during Brexit anyway, used to print all the stuff. What was her name? Diane Abbott, Abacus Abbott. She was the person who was signing the checks to get the things printed off. So this is him. He's another left-wing chill. And Clacton politics at the moment, there's a lot of people that are saying we don't really care. We might just go and give Reform a bloody nose because we don't feel Nigel Farage has done what he's supposed to have done, which is fair enough. That's their right. And if they do that, I think that he can't be the leader of Reform. So it's high stakes. But if he does win it, then obviously Reform has beaten the establishment, the whole estate. I don't care if people say it's fake, it's this. I don't care. I didn't realise you were old enough to remember the photograph David Bailey. Everyone knows David Bailey. My old man used to, or was it my mum? One of them two used to Used to always do it, and it was when it we're gonna get back to that. Hold that thought. Hold that thought. We're gonna get back to that. Let's just go through this quickly while it's on screen. It's all a bit shit, right? He just puts his stuff out on there and blah, 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 blah. Right, that's bored me already, right? And I'll probably get a strike on it. I'm getting strikes left, right, and not strikes. They're what they're saying. We can't monetize your stuff because of the things you're doing. So crazy, right? So let's get to this one. So that was that. That's the video that's been put out there. Now, who was it? Rahim Kassam. He put this out, which is interesting more than anything. See you soon, brother.
What's this, BBC crew?
No, it's not. You're in shot, actually, there.
Oh, I don't care.
Oh, we do.
Hello. I don't care.
All right.
Oh, very good. What are you out in force for?
Don't feel.
This guy looks very familiar. I don't know if you can hear it because it's very low. I don't know if it's just on my end or what. It's very low. But he looks familiar, right?
Why not?
Oh. Because I'm asking to be filmed.
So it's public area.
Yeah.
And look what they're doing. They're putting things up on the wall.
You're in public. You can be filmed.
Oh, I can, yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah.
This side's my best.
That side? So here's the
And look, there we go. That's the bin faces thing that he put on the other one.
BBC and their BBC bin.
Oh, definitely not BBC.
Oh, it's the BBC bin, all right. We know he's the BBC man.
Seems like it. Right, I'm gonna. Have you got it? Yeah. All right, I'm going back to this forward.
So there it is.
Got a cost a pretty penny, all declared, I hope.
And again, that is a huge, huge setup. It doesn't cost 20 quid and a rental to put this up. That's high quality cameras. That's a high projection screen. And I would think that this is either BBC, which they all kind of scarpered when he said that, and led by donkeys. I think both of them things would be the people behind it. And it's incredible as well. The world's seeing a bin facing Nigel Farage.
Have you got it?
And look, start getting up. Let's go.
Oh, and they got a drone
This
and
guy
everything.
puts a drone up.
Look at this.
Yeah, okay, that's it. Right.
Take it down.
Turning it off now. See? You come over and the BBC runs away. Oh, it's off. They got their 1 minute. I don't think they wanted me out here.
There you go. And they turned it off. He's pissed he ain't getting paid. But it looks like...
Locals?
I am, Essex boy, born and bred.
Clacton?
No.
No, not Clacton.
Essex, Essex boy, not Clacton, no. Right, so let me just get back into this. So we've seen what they've given out. Bin face, it was on the Clacton Pier or wherever that how it was. But their first one was this little car park. That's where they wanted to do it. Again, who's paying these people? And politics, it's showing the dirty side of it, where we don't really have lobbyists like in America, but we have a whole underground network of lobbyists. And believe you got to trust me on this one, right? There's always people trying to to tap up. You go onto an email, and it's like, oh, Dan, what's your thoughts on this? And do you feel that you can do the amounts of things even now, or especially now that I'm kind of just doing my own things and whatever, the amount of people that still try and reach out and saying, well, Dan, what about this? Would this be of interest? So there's always people lobbying for something. And yeah, it's incredible that politics is that dirty, that people like Led by Donkeys or BBC or whoever it is behind this goes out in the middle of the night and does this for a candidate that's essentially a bin. Essentially, it's like the Monster Raving Loony Party. Would anyone really legitimately put the Monster Raving Loony Party up against another candidate? No. All the people fell away. All the parties were, no, this is a fraud. We're not doing it. We're not going to play Nigel Farage's games. But Binface was there. They all knew that. They're all happy about that. And they've all pulled out and saying, you've got to support the bin. That's like Macron, right? Macron versus Marine Le Pen. Marine Le Pen won that. She won that vote. But it goes to the second round or however it happened, and every other party put their votes behind Macron. So Macron wins it again. I think it was the presidency or something like that. It's absolutely crazy. I was going to say about David Bailey. Let me get back to David. I was going to say, I'm sure it was a very famous Yellow Pages advert. That's what it reminds me of, but I can't find it. So maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was just a photograph. It's so famous. Right. Mark says, we can reduce the civil service by 48% overnight. The worst abuses are in local government and particularly associated with local businesses on retainers. Allegedly, whilst at the lodge, it is. There's huge amounts of corruption, and I'm in the middle of it at the moment. I've had to drop one investigation just temporarily because it's in a... when you do a freedom of information, right? It's supposed to be the freedom of information. But there are so many things that they can do and they can say to stop it from happening. All these sections, they can neither confirm nor deny. They can say it's what do they use? Basically, they can't give you the information because it's out for tender, or it will put them in a worse position when they're renegotiating contracts or things like that. There's ones that say, it's health and safety, or it's GDPR. There's so many ways behind the scenes where they can stop you. And it's legitimate. You do an internal investigation, or someone has to look at it. They come back, the same thing. You go to the Information Commissioner's office, and they will hold it for months and months, and then they'll come back and they'll say, well, there's nothing we can do, or we will tell them and see what comes back. So there's lots of ways that the freedom to get information doesn't actually work. So there's a couple that I've had to just put on the back burner for a moment, maybe rejig it around. AI farms as well. Don't let me forget, because that's a big one I'm going through it now. Utterly crazy. What I found out is utterly crazy. So the corruption in local council is incredible. As I said, with Medway, is it Medway Council or is it Maidstone? I think it's Medway. I think Medway Council, I've had a number of invoices that I've legally got and I've asked them about. It's about money going to companies. Now, these monies are going to companies, and no one seems to know who the companies are. No one seems to can give me the information. They can't give me a VAT number. They can't give me a registered address, because this is all business related. So you should be able to get that. They can't give me basic informations, and it seems to me, and I don't know, this is my opinion, it seems to me there's a lot of people putting things through for companies, and they don't really exist. Because who goes through it? Who actually audits what the council pays out, and are they actually companies? No one really does that, but I'm starting to do it because I can see discrepancies. How scary would it be if Ben Face won? We are an alternative reality. I know, right? I blame the Tories for letting all our universities, civil servants, the police force. I could carry on. They let the left wing take over these places. They did. They did. Don't know what's going on with Sooty Cat and Blue, but I said, you're mental, you're not, it's not happening, mate. I don't know what that is. But, oh, the bin face thing. The bin face thing. They have, since Tony Blair came in, and what did he say? Education, education, education. Open up the shore side. And this is the problem, right, with Andy Burnham. This is the problem with Andy Burnham. Because we went through, actually, the biggest decline that happened to us. Now, it's in my capitalism thing, and I don't want to go through it now because it's a long-ass thing. But the biggest decline in the country, it happened in the 2008 bankers bailout. Now, if you remember, up until that point in time, and this goes Tony Blair as well, so up until that time, we was very profitable. Things were moving, Blair shifted a whole lot of things around, and then all of a sudden the crash happened. Now, this was the thing. Now, the banks, they're supposed to be private businesses, right? They're not government, it's not a government bank or anything like that. So essentially, they're private businesses, but because of the mortgages and, the 110%, 125% mortgages, all of these things, the banks got so big for the economy that when they crashed, we had to bail them out. Now, this is how capitalism works. Capitalism, it gives you great rewards if you're successful. And if you're not successful, it will tell you you're not successful because you won't have a business. And that is the cold, hard thing of capitalism. That's why society is so good, because if you do well, you're gonna be there, and you're gonna be growing, you're gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. And if you're not so good, you're going to lose your business, whether it be one bad deal. That's all it might be. One bad deal. You might have gone on the stock brokers and did a dodgy thing, and it's gone. What we did then is we reshaped it. We said to the capitalists, if you get big enough and ingrained into our economy, then we will have to bail you out. We will continue to do it. We've seen it time and time again when failing businesses, look at COVID, care homes. Oh, we can't afford all of the stuff that you have to do. We can't afford the face masks and all of that. They were bailing them out. Private businesses, bailing them out. Furlough, bail. This should have been the point where we can erase a lot of the businesses and then rebuild. That's what it does. That's how it works. And if it doesn't work like that, and you don't get penalized for a failure, then capitalism as we know it doesn't work. And that's why I believe now that there's no capitalists in the capitalist system. There is no one there. You should be able to, at 17 years old, you go to your apprentice. You know that from 18 to 25, you're going to acquire skills. You are investing into your life. You've acquired skills. 25 to 30, you should be then acquiring your family life. You should be getting married, having a child. This is what used to happen. And at 30, you then invest in your house, your assets. During that time, you've gone from apprentice, and hopefully you are doing the job that you want to do, and you're doing it quite well. That's how you get rewarded. If you don't, or you're not good at it, you're not going to be in that job, and you're going to be looking at something else, and you're going to start the cycle again. So hopefully what you need to do is to acquire assets. That's it. Your house is the biggest asset, and it used to be affordable. You used to be able to do that at 30 years old. You say, right, now I have saved, I've got money, I've got extra money, because I've got better at my job. I've been promoted. I've now saved. I've now brought assets. Now you do better at your job. You get more money. More money means more taxes. More taxes means more council tax, then more rent, then more this. You ain't saving nothing. You can go your whole entire life without a savings in this period of time. Look at the kids now. The kids can't acquire wealth. And what also used to happen is house builders. They're part of it as well. And this is something else that does go back to Tony Blair. House builders will build 20 houses. That's 20 houses for 20 families, right? Now they sold off the council houses and they've got all these houses, and the house builders are doing 200,000 a year, if so. But there's no new money. Every house now, near enough, is the same house that's been sold off a few times. So there's no new money. There's no new houses. So when somebody buys a house now, there's no extra house. There's no extra house to fill, and there's no extra house for the person to get into. That's a problem. That's why the prices keep going up and up and up. If they were just building and building and building, then the prices would kind of be leveled. But since they sold Maggie Thatcher sold the council houses off, the normal house builders were like, well, no one's buying houses, so let's slow down our production. They slowed down their production. All the houses were filled. Cool. Everyone's good. Everyone's now got extra wealth and all of that type of stuff. What about those who are now restarting? They didn't think of that. And now we're just giving it to mad people. We've got it together for the children. I don't know which one it is, but thank you. Danny, you're a legend. Don't come on much, but you're a good man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keep doing. If you're one of the people, keep doing what you're doing, because you're changing hearts and minds too. If not, let's just all go to Together for the Children. They're on, actually, let's get it up on here. Together for the Children. They're on YouTube, which is, let me just get it here. Oh, children, they're on YouTube, and they've got a let's just get this here. So that's that. It's not coming up. Have they blocked? Have you still got the channel? Let us know what the channel is, and I'll put it up here, because I can see all the posts. I can see all the posts, but also there's the DVD you can go and get as well. Once I get it, I will put it up, but I can't find it at the moment. Beginning of the wreckage, it really was. It really was. It didn't type it like that. Evening second-hand bike. To stop the local civil service from abusing you, applied to become a local councillor. Exactly. And this is my problem. This is my problem with UKIP, right? Where it was like, let's just hit the local councils. Let's just forget about the MP status, the House of Parliaments, because it will come. If we can get a lot of local councils, we can find the corruption in the councils, and we can do that. We need to run the next party. The next party doesn't need to be on race-based politics. The next party doesn't need to do all of this stuff. The next party needs to be an anti-corruption party. If you look in Europe, the only ones who are winning has got seats are ones that run on anti-corruption. And that covers everything, right? I've said it to so many people, but people don't like that. They just want to go straight to Westminster. But local government is your bread and butter. And that's when I started looking at all these local governments around me, all the councils. I was like, there's a lot of corruption about. And it might not be financial corruption. It might not be a corruption as in, but it was corruption in other ways, things that are not done on a even kill, and it's done to enhance something or to bring someone in. Is absolutely crazy. We didn't need to pay the banks out. Italy didn't. We didn't, exactly. And that's where the turn of everything happened. From 2008, and then you got the Tories, that they, or Labour, Gordon Brown's Labour, it's the austerity, then Tories, there's no money left in the box. And that's what I was getting to, actually. Then 14 years, we're just finally getting ourselves up, and then COVID coming here us. From 2008, we have had our asses kicked, right? But we've not done what we've needed to do to make it better, to ease it. There's so many things that we could have done, which we haven't done. And now we're in a situation where I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. I'm never one to bail out. Never bail on this country, right? That's always my motto. But my daughter, they don't have that in them. They're young, they're children. So I really looking at things and saying, well, I can fight. I can try and make this better. And I can send you away. Because remember, this is what happened in reverse. People coming from bullshit countries would say, listen, let's try and make a better life. I'll go, then I'll send for you, right? This is the Windrush. It happened all the time, 10 people in one house and all that type of stuff. Now we're seeing it probably in reverse. So I look at things and say, well, if I know things ain't going to get better, then what kind of father would I be to say to the girls do you know what? I knew it. I was campaigning against it, and I still let you live the life. So that's the situation where we're at now. And that's why 2029 is going to be so important. Because after that, if we don't vote our way out of this, I don't think we can survive. We might survive for 50, 60, 100 years, but at some point, the money ain't going to come in. The people are going to explode. There's going to be a one-way wealth extraction from the government. There's not going to be enough taxes to pay for the welfare. There's not going to be enough taxes to pay for the adult social care and all of this stuff. And that would be an absolute sacrilege. That's why I fight so hard. And that's why, people are like, oh, you say this about reform and blah. But this is the thing. Restore. Did I put that video out? Did I put it out? I've done so many videos. I don't even put half of it out. Did I put that video out? Let me see. Because I did a video and I haven't done. It's to kind of to show. It's to kind of show, like, what I think. I did put it out. Let's watch this one. Because my videos don't go out anyway, so.
At Fastly, we drive performance and
hopefully.
Security. Websites, apps, entertainment.
I know you can hear that. I've got to make it run.
Everywhere your audience sees.
Oh, I can just do this. All right, I'm back, stocked up on the good stuff. Visit the Chop Chop guy as well. You love Chop Chop. Chop Chop's the backy guy. When there's enough local MPs in place, make your party. Because once you have seats... Exactly. And this is the Liberal Democrats, right? This shows the Liberal Democrats became leaders of this country, co-leaders of this country on 70 or 80 seats. That's it. They didn't need to go and get 300. They just needed to be there. Then a lot of things happened in that situation as well, which was like really weird. But they managed to do it. Chris Boyer, how we doing, buddy? Hope you are well. Right, are you aware that Blair removed the sedation traitor bill? Interesting. Fabian, of course. They all are. What is it? Fucking 80% of all front rows of the Labour Party or some crazy like that have been Fabians. Right, let me just put this on. My face ain't too good on that. Just play this one, because this is what I feel. Let's go! Welcome to the membership. Where's Trump? I don't know. You want Trump? Let's get a little Trump going on. Let's get a Trump going on. There you go. Don't watch the little bit at the bottom. Don't watch the Ross Kumps thing. I don't know. I think it's only for certain things. We've got double Trump. Come on. Let's do it. Thank you for becoming a member again. It really is appreciated. It's always appreciated. And you got your Trump there in the end. Chris Boyle saying it's all good. Right, let me I can't put it in full screen. Let's just do it in this one. Oh, I've got to play it. As in, people are abusing it so much. So I don't care if people say, oh, do you know what, we're going to deport, Hang on a minute. Where was you in Black Lives Matter? Where was you in COVID? Where was you during the Tony Blair period of time? Where was you when Theresa May said, I'm going to make this a hostile country? It's going to be the immigrants are going to understand that they live in a hostile environment. That was Theresa May. What did she do? Fuck all. What did Brexit happen? Nothing. We made it worse. Because we can't get together. We're not a collective. You see the difference between the left, yeah? And I look at the left now, and I'm like thinking to myself, do you know what? I'm an activist. I'm not a podcaster. I'm not a documentary maker. I'm somebody who can go out there and stand on my spot and try to change minds, no matter who it is, no matter what it is. If I believe in it, that's what I do, right? And that's what the Labour activists and the left activists, they've got thousands of them. And they all come together. They might have different things. You go to one side, you go through the left rally, you go to one side, free Palestine. You go in onto another side, it's smash the far right. You go to another side, it's, stop the animal testing and whatnot. You go on the other side where it's fox hunting, right? They've all got their individual badges and banisters and all of that shit, posters. They're all doing you got the communists coming through doing their fucking chants. Do you think any of them people are saying, do you know what? You've got to leave. You've got to leave. We don't support you. They don't, because the collective activism is changing people's perception of whatever they're putting in front of you. They want the government to know there's 500,000 people walking around London. Those 500,000 people are not just one fucking people. They're every people. And this is what I'm saying about Reform UK. If everyone got together and said, we don't support Reform UK, I would make an army. And I'd make sure that army is under a banner of we don't support Reform UK, but we are voting it because we want to get the others out. That is the most powerful message anyone can do in the UK between 2026 and 2030. Prove me wrong. Prove me there's a more powerful message. Is Millions Must Go more powerful than we don't support Reform UK, but we're going to vote them in to get you lot out? Imagine that. Imagine the Nudge Unit. Imagine MI5. Imagine all the people who are connected to globalists and all of these people. I think they'll stop an election. I think that they will create another pandemic so there could not be an election, and we would know that we've won. Because we've made that they've had to do that extremity, because they know if we do vote in reform and we don't support reform, then there's a big fucking problem for the world as well. That's collective activism. That's being a collectiveness. That's saying together as British people, we are all in this together. We are going to be voting this way. And then on the next day, the very next day, we should all go to Dover or to Trafalgar Square or wherever we go. We should all go there to these places without banners to say, do you know what? Your days are numbered. We're Reform. We're Restore. We're UKIP. We are someone else. We are other people here. And we're all together. And we're all saying, you're numbered unless you listen to us. And I can guarantee you, the Tories, everyone else will be like, we've got to listen to that group. That group's quite radical. That group is prepared just to vote a certain way just to get us out. That's incredible. That is absolutely incredible.
All right, watch this.
Marquez, we don't want Marquez here, man. Come on, we don't want these adverts. But yeah, see, that was it, right? So, essentially, you know, that's where I think we need to be. And like David said, the powers to be don't want us to come together because collectively, they don't want us to come together. Collectively, we have a voice. Because collectively we have a voice, individually we don't, and that's exactly what they are counting on. And Bogan Brett says, do you reckon a lot of the Brits will be voting for the first time in this election? I hope that they will. I really do hope that they will. And it was 18 million people who are eligible to vote who just didn't vote. And I generally believe it's because they don't care about politics, because like I said in the video, every time that somebody says they're going to do this, they ain't going to do that. I don't think Restore's going to do what they need to do, because look at his last interview, Rupert Lowe. He had it with Nick Robinson. Nick Robinson, he brought him on to speak about the economic paper. So he comes on and then straight away he start talking about, you know, the race-based politics. And he can't get the message out because he's having a debate whether or not King Charles is British or not, because he's got German family, and this paper that Matt Goodwin said it meant two people had to be British parents to be. I don't know what it was. It was a stretch, right? But that's the situation. They can't get the message out. So I do hope a lot of people will vote, and I think if someone can get behind the 18 million people who don't vote and get them to say, listen, just vote for change. Look at Obama, right? Look what happened to him. He got in there because he was voting for change, right? He got a lot of the Democrats, the black Democrats, in fact, to vote, who never voted because of the rhetoric that was behind it. So if we can hit the right rhetoric and saying, listen, we are voting to change. You don't have to get behind these people. And if it comes down to voting day or a year 2028, and Reform's doing 25% in the polls, Labour's doing 22% in the polls, Tories doing, Restore is doing 24%. I would be telling people to go to Restore because that's a bigger jump than the rest of them. So I'd have to be saying, listen, go and vote for Restore to allow us to break the uni party. And a lot of people are like, oh, you're anti-Restore at the moment. It's not so much I'm anti-Restore. I just know now that we need to vote as a collective. We need those people who have never voted, who don't want to vote, to get out and vote. Because once they do, once you can get 2 million of those people, that's going to change the voting sphere completely. Yes, hit the like, smash a like on the way in, smash it on the way out. Let's do a double one. Let's do this for England. Follow me on X and the Buy a Coffee if anyone can. This is the Buy a Coffee is going to be more. It's going to be more special in September after the kids go back and all of that. We can finally get out into local areas and show a lot of local activism. That's where we're going to be going. I know I've been trying to do it for a little while, and also a tour, the Let's Britain Speak Again tour. We need to do that. We need to get into all the pubs, all the social clubs up and down this country, put a table out. And I know you got people like Bob and Montgomery Toms and Nick Tanconi. They go to the universities and they do this. What I've always said from last year, if you remember, you probably were here on that stream when I listened to Charlie Kirk's first podcast or video after he got back to the UK, and he said that Britain's losing their voice. That was the Make Britain Speak Again. So the Buy Me Coffee is going to be much more important in September because it will get us to get out places. You need to get out. Oh, there you go. You need to get out, knock doors, hit the streets, pubs, everywhere. Anti-Corruption League It's just a name, only a debate, just a name, only debate the waste of tax payments and you leave the rest. Do you know what the thing was with it? I think I showed you it. I've done a whole paper on it. If you can run on corruption, or if you can run on, they all run on corruption. If you can run on anti-corruption, it covers everything. So what I was trying to say to Advance UK was, you don't have to be an immigration as your focus. That should be a baseline. You don't have to put Britain first as your focus. That should be your baseline. Furthermore, there's other parties who are doing it. No one's running on an anti-corruption ticket. No one. Everyone should, because corruption is everywhere. And if you can get the message that corruption is everywhere, people start paying attention. Hang on a minute, your council's corrupt in allocating housing. It's not allocating it equally. It's not doing it how it's supposed to be. It's cherry picking. It's getting the best of the whole pot, let's just say. Then people will start being like, right, that party's talking about it. That affects me. I'm going to listen to that party. When that party then goes to local governance, I'm going to vote for that party. So I want to know what's actually happening inside the council. Once you get inside the council, that's it. The party is on a public accounts committee constantly. And that's that. But yeah, we need to start doing all these types of stuff. Another one, I'm going to shut this down in a little bit as well. But I do want to just go through this one because I don't think people have heard this either. With all the stuff that's going on. And that one, I don't want it there. See how he looks. Does he look all right? Yeah, we'll deal with that. We'll deal with that. Let's just get a bit bigger. Why is it not doing what I want it to do? Fucking Femi. Femi is such a fucking... What was this about? I've got to watch it now.
5% of people who wave the Palestinian flag, which, by the way, I'm not going to get into this issue tonight because it's not the night for it, support Hamas. We're not going to admit to it, are we? They're a banned terrorist organisation. I mean, complete. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to defend our great flag. I would also like to thank the President. I believe I'm given the opportunity now quickly, as is custom, to roast the opposition. This is something I'm supposed to do. It is always a pleasure to debate, Femi. I appreciate you. You're right. When I see you in that shirt, I don't see a symbol of division. I see an audition for the village people. And it's a very, very good job that you didn't strip down to the...
He is fucking... Have you seen this debate? If you haven't, watch this debate. It's absolutely crazy. This fucking minstrel, right? He wore a vest with a Union flag on and he did it with pens and paints and all sorts of shit. It's absolutely crazy. And look, he's just like Colton. He's like Colton. Right. This happened a few days ago. I didn't even know about it. There's been a lot of shit going on. Mark retires in 18 months and have already started preparing for local council. The anti-corruption ticket, that's it. Anything you need to do, let us know. We are always happy, or I am always happy to... do whatever I can for for people. So if there's anything I can do, always give me a shout, and we'll do business. And I think you'll be, just based on that, I think you'll be successful, even as an independent. Even as an independent, I think independencies as well has a lot of... It holds more weight now than what it did before. Again, if you put it out there, I can't be with any of the other parties because, I feel that they're corrupt for these reasons. Get your reasons. It'll be job done. Can you see that? That's too much. That's too much. It's really fucking bright. Hi. You missed some of this, but anyway. So yeah, look, listen. A High Court injunction secured by Liberal Democrat-run Oxfordshire County Council now prohibits unidentified people from affixing England and Union flags to lampposts or painting imagery on roads throughout the county. Mr. Justice Dexter Diaz delivered his judgment on Friday, concluding months of legal proceedings against those involved in the widespread display of St. George's Cross and Union flags as part of what has been termed as Operation Raise the Colours. The authority has initiated the action on grounds including highway safety concerns, trespass and obstruction. Any breach of the order carries severe consequences, with potential penalties extending to asset seizures, imprisonment or unlimited financial sanctions. So this is Oxfordshire Council, and we know that Oxfordshire is very much pro Black Lives Matter, pro, all of that left buzzwords. They love it, right? So now they're saying that you can't affix an England or a Union flag to the lampposts in the county. Now, Oxford's got one of the best universities, right? They all become MPs or prime ministers or whatever. So it's crazy to think that they're going to be brought up in a county that is actively anti-Britain, anti-England. Because no matter what, you should be able to put your flag up. You should be able to do a lot of things with the flag that we can't do at the moment. And it's a symbol of, again, collectivism. Because we're supposed to be all united under the flag. This is why during 1970s, maybe a bit earlier, Marxism changed their position because it was a class system. So they would try to pit classes off against each other, which, is easy to do. But then they realised that during the war, no one cared about class. We didn't care if you was an elite or if you was a working farmer. You're defending the country. You're going to take orders from the people at the top, and you're going to stand by whoever's next to you, your brothers in arms. So they changed it, and it started going on to different things. That intersectionality was happening. Then they started sexual liberation for females. They started to do all these types of things, and they've kind of landed on race with Herbert Marcuse, Angela Davis, going on to Kimberly Crenshaw. They're kind of like the architectures of this. And I've forgotten where I was going with this. My mind's gone blank. That's what happens when I think about Marxism, because there's so many different things and so many different avenues, and I've just totally forgotten about it. Collectivism. Together. So yes, that's where I was going with it. So they realised that race was a better one to divide the people. And the government realises that as well. And the government realises if there's less people care about the flags and care about the country, then there's less people to fight against the government when they start really oppressing the country. Because what we're seeing now is nothing. We say we're living in tyranny. We are. But that's not the tyranny that we're going to be living under. We're not going, the boot on our neck is not going to be half as heavy as what it will be after 2030. Let's not forget about Agenda 2030. That is when it's really going to happen. And that is why, again, in 2029, we need to make a stand. We really need to make an effort to do that. Let's be part of the 80 million. Let's not be part of a political group. Let's not be part of it. Let's just say, listen, we will do it. We'll vote for whatever party will break the system, and then we'll demand that party to listen to us. And if they don't, it's no drama. We don't care. We're already fucked. We'll do it again in 2033. And then again. And then again and then again. I'm just here. Thank you, brother. No problem. I'm just here. I'm just to get onto the local council for now. Much appreciated. Yeah, but even local council stuff, if there's anything that needs to be broken, anything, that you think, oh, look at this is wild. This is wild. I'm going to send a little anonymous email to the tip line. I'll be off soon. Thanks for a great show. Thank you, Mark. Appreciated. See you again soon. Cole Marks, the original spoilt, lazy, rich kid relying on other people's money. Again, I always say it, he didn't want to smash the system. He just wanted a seat at the table. So if having a seat at the table means that you smash the system, that's what they're going to do. Lieutenant LTG, thank you for coming on again. Thank you for modding, and yeah, I will see you all soon. I'm gonna be heading off in a minute anyway. I just wanted to put that because with all the drama that's going on, with all the look here, we kind of miss the important things, and that's really important. And I'm just sitting here wondering now, what would Oxfordshire's County Council's position if someone did a whole street all the way up to the university with the European flag or with the Ukrainian flag or fuck it, the French flag? Would their position be the same? Because this injunction prohibits unidentified people from affixing England and Union flags to lampposts or painting imagery on roads throughout the county. What if the roundabout suddenly were blue and yellow? What if what if there's loads of Ukrainian flags everywhere on the stuff? Or maybe just find a really small country somewhere like Niger. What if we started doing that? Would they take it down? And again, things like this could be so much easier if we had a fun, like a pot where we can say, right, let's test the theory. Let us test the theory. But it's interesting. I don't know what they'll do. I have no idea what they'll do. Do you know? I don't know why they hate the country so much as well, to be fair. What else is on here? Just looking on here to see if there's anything else. Fucking hell, look at this. What's this today? I'm going to finish it on this. Yesterday. Right there. It's not happening. It's not working. All right, there you can see it. Don't know if you can see it all, but it's as good as we got now. I will just listen. No, it's gone. Police have launched a manhunt under a child rapist escaped a psychiatric clinic in Scotland. Cliff Lyons Dobby, 54, absconded from the secure clinic in Perth yesterday afternoon during a monitored outing. It's not very monitored. Dobby was convicted of raping a 10-year-old girl in Glasgow whilst on bail for sexually abusing a 12-year-old boy in 1990. He is described as 5'3", white and stocky, muscular build. This guy. It's absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. This world is crazy. And on that, if you see him, you know, do what you got to do. Phone whoever if you're up in Scotland. And if you're not, I'm going to put it in the chat. Let me just drop this in all chats for you. Everyone, get the link and share it out because, yeah, people cannot go around abusing children. I don't care who they are. I don't care what colour they are. I don't care what persuasion or whatever they are. You can't go and abuse children. But anyway, this is tonight. It was only a quick one. It was only really because of the Anne Widdecombe bit. So if you haven't seen it, then go back to the start and, yeah, have a look at it. Have a look at it. Could it have been prevented if the police had gone and done a full line of inquiry instead of saying, well, potentially it was Nigel Farage's house, so we don't really want to look into it that much? Was it the same person? Is that why they're looking into it? Is that why counter-terrorism suddenly jumped on the case? We don't know, but we will be looking at it. Mdale 1716, Scotland here. Look out for him. Scotland do deal with the paedophiles very, very well. They'll go outside the houses and they won't leave until they won't be violent. They'll just let everyone know this is who lives here, and they won't go until they go, which is probably what we all need to start doing. Anyway, thank you for watching, people, and I will see you again soon. I've only got a few more streams, and then I'm going to have a break. So again, if you don't hear me for a few days, I'm not posting, I'm not doing this, don't think the worst. If it comes to like 3 weeks, then you might think, might send out an SOS. Where's Danny? But anything up to 2 weeks and a few days, it was probably just me clearing myself, clearing my mind from all of this, and yeah, just having a nice little rest. So hopefully we'll do it. What is it, Saturday, Sunday? I might not be. Saturday. What is it, Saturday today? Probably Sunday. Probably Sunday night. And until then, people, I will see you soon. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your evenings, your early morning with us here all together. Share out the videos. Share out the one that I've just done there as well about the 18 million votes. It's so important. And remember, give it a like. It is free. See you soon.